Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, we have mentioned on many occasions the supposedly £1 billion black hole in the finances of the SNP government. We've then sort of said, well, that was then. The Brains Trust got up at his speech and mentioned £500,000 for the council tax freeze, £300 million extra for the NHS. You close on with all the other things to about £2 billion black hole. And it's no wonder when you've got sheer stupidity and, what's worse, sheer incompetency of a government that really doesn't know what it's doing. And this is further exacerbated when you see what is going to happen now to the new Barlinnie. It was originally going to cost and budgeted for at £170 million. That's not what it's going to cost. The price has gone up a little bit. And how much? Has it gone up 10%? 30%? Has it gone up 50%? No. You're probably thinking, my God, he's going to say it's gone up 100%, isn't it? No. It's gone up way more than 100%. We're going to have a look at this to see why these incompetents should not be allowed to run a country. Here goes. So, new SNP jaw-dropping spending scandal as HMP Glasgow to cost more than 400 million. And the design is not even complete yet. The Scottish Government Justice Secretary Angela Constant admitted that the replacement for ageing Barlinnie prison will cost more than £400 million from an initial £170 million cost when they started it. How can it increase that much in such a short period of time without somebody having fingers in the till? There's backsheesh, there's handouts, somebody is screwing the system. This increase is totally unwarranted. I've worked in construction for 35 years as an accountant. I ended up as an accountant, running the accounts office, doing budgets, operation managing, the lot. I did project management. I did it all. I knew the company inside out. There is no way anything increases by that level. It is an astonishing increase. And the only way that can possibly happen is that there are people there up in that money so they can get their cut. And it's got to be investigated. The Scottish Government has been accused of presiding over another jaw-dropping spending scandal, which could become akin to the ferry fiasco. Justice Secretary Angela Constant admitted at Holyrood on Wednesday that the price of the new super prison HMP Glasgow has now skyrocketed to over £400 million. And this is despite the design stage for the jail not even being finished yet. It is due to replace the not fit for purpose HMP Barlinnie in Glasgow, and it was meant to be finished in 2026. So once again, you have a project done by the SNP. They budgeted at 170. It's going to come in at over 400 million, and that's as it stands now. It's going to be £500 million by the time it's finished. You have to ask, firstly, where's all this money going? What is the justification of the increase? Why and what are the various stages of increase? Is it increasing costs of materials? Is it increasing cost of salaries? Is there an increase or a change of design? If so, who signed off the changes in design? When was this done? All these things need to be answered. 35 years in accountancy for a construction company, I've never, ever seen anything raise, in value like that so fast in such a short period of time without there being some form of dodginess. This is people going, we'll put an extra 5 million on this and we'll split that 50-50, 250, quarter of half a million each, whatever. Boom, boom, boom. It's got to be the only thing. It's the only possible thing. Look to see who's signing off on this shit. Anyway, and of course, the other thing is, it isn't going to be built by 2026, is it? It's going to be over £500 million. So it's going to end up costing 3 times what the original budget was. And this is why the SNP are £2 billion in the hole. Because they are incompetent. Anyway, this date has been delayed indefinitely. There you go, very next line. with the government suggesting that the construction work would now take place then. Work to build it was originally meant to start this month, but bosses have now admitted they're not even finished designing it yet. How hard is it? It can't be that hard. Anyway, this is despite the governor of Barlinnie, Michael Stoney, claiming that his prison was at risk of catastrophic failure, with figures suggesting it was running at 140% capacity in July. He highlighted that any slip-up would be massively detrimental to prisoners. I don't care about prisoners, to be honest, but the guards would be in great danger, and they're the innocent ones in this. Now, Miss Constance has drawn the ire of Scottish Tories by suggesting that the cost of building HMP Glasgow could now skyrocket to more than £400 million. And all I'm going to say is, and the rest. This is despite the initial budget of it being £170 million. Scottish Conservative Justice spokesman Russell Findlay asked about the cost during her appearance on the Criminal Justice Committee and pointed out how the Scottish Prison Service was reluctant to speculate how much money it would cost until the plans were complete. The plans aren't complete. They were supposed to break ground and start building this month. They haven't even finished the plans. Do you know how hard it is? I'm going to tell you now. If the Scottish government was a private company, it would be bankrupt in a week. The best thing you do as a Scottish government is this: you say, "We need a prisoner. We need a prison. How many prisoners are you going to be putting in there?" And they give a number, and let's just say arbitrary number. You need 1,000 prisoners. So you go, fine. You assume 2 prisoners to a cell. You build them. You build a slightly larger cell. You put 2 prisoners in a cell. You provide whatever the minimal convenience is. So toilet, couple of cupboards, that sort of thing. Boom, boom, boom. Secure round, top, bottom, 6-side secure, big fat arse door. And you go, bang. That is then a repeated build. And you know how much that will cost you to build. You can break that down to the cost of individual bricks. You know the cost of that. So you go, boom, 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 boom. You're going to need 500 of them. You're also going to need some secure unit, some single occupancy things, whatever. You can do all them. You know the cost. Any builder worth his salt would be able to go, bish, bash, bosh, do that. You have overhead for that, bung in your electrics, bung in that, bang. And you get a price. And you get a time frame. Because you know how long it takes to lay, 10 metres of wall or whatever. You have a time, you have a price, and you go, bang, that's it. And what you then do is you add, let's say, 10, 15%, it's called contingency, onto the top of that. So you know what your build cost is, you know what your contingency is, you add your profit on top of that. Let's say 20% profit, reasonable profit. 25%, let's go 25%, assuming you're not buying the land. 25% profit, put that on top, job's a good one, off you go. You give them a price and you say, right, we can do this, it will take us 2.5 years to build. There's the cost. We want stage payments, X amount a month, let's go. And then that's it. And then what the government should do is fuck off. And never, ever get involved again until the builder is handing the key over. Because when you get a government constantly coming in and changing that, and can we do this and we want that, costs go through the roof, time gets pushed back by years, and that's exactly what happens. Anyway, Russell Findlay said he asked for the government's worst case or best case scenario cost-wise. Miss Constance replied, "I'm not going to speculate because I don't think that is helpful. I will say, of course, that it will be more than 400 million. I think I'm confident of that." Now, she's saying 400 million maybe. I'm guaranteeing by the time this is finished, I will eat my hat if this costs anything less than 500 million. And I would even suggest there's a possibility of 600 million, knowing the SNP, knowing the interference, knowing how they're going to change things, knowing that they've got fingers in pies everywhere. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of money coming out of that and going into the coffers of the SNP. That'll need to be looked at very, very carefully. Look at every stage payment. Make sure, get auditors in, get UK government auditors in, and question every single invoice for goods, for labour, for material, you name it. Get them in. Guarantee it'll be a bit cheaper then, and that lot won't be getting their backhanders. Anyway, in a previous evidence session, Jerry O'Donnell, Interim Director of Finance at SPS, was grilled about why HMP Glasgow project had been delayed in the first place. We know interference from government all the time. He suggested that this was because they had not yet finished the design process, and this work would be finalised in April, and a total cost to construct it will be announced afterwards. Yeah. Go and hold your breath. The Scottish Tories suggested this new spending scandal could spiral to become akin to the ferries, where the government's spending $400 million on 2 ships at Fergus Marine, which are worth $97 million each. Mr Fidley said that the Justice Secretary's jaw-dropping admission that HMP Glasgow will cost more than $400 million requires a full explanation. She still can't say when this long-awaited prison might open, but we do know it is already 4 times over budget and will end up costing even more than the ferry fiasco, joining a long list of key infrastructure projects marred by incompetence and squandered public money. There's a lot of people making a lot of money off the public on the back of this. You can guarantee that there's criminal activity. There's no way there isn't. And I'm speaking as an expert in this. There's no way that that initial budget goes up to 400 million without crime. Scottish Prison Service chiefs also came under fire after it was revealed they'd failed to estimate how much it would cost the public purse to take over HMP Kilmarnock from private operators, despite this being in the pipeline for 4 years. They've also no idea how much the initial handover would cost, with it due to take place next year. Haven't got a clue. You've got prisons being run by morons who don't know what they're doing. And I don't mean the people in the prison, the actual guards, I mean like the operational lot above it, the ones who are actually in charge of, from the justice side of it. We're in charge of running all the prisons in Scotland. How much is that going to cost? I haven't got a clue. Incompetent morons. It's the SNP way, isn't it? Over-promote morons until you get someone in power who doesn't know what they're doing, and then congratulate them when they fuck up. And boy, do they ever. There's another one. Incompetent, over-promoted, hasn't got a clue, doesn't know what's going on, can't answer the questions. 400 million. 400 million from 170. And yet, like I say, it's going to be a lot more than that. I guarantee over 500 million. Possibly 6. I'm coming up. In about 10 years' time, when this prison is finished, anyone going into this prison is going to expect to see marble and gold-plated taps and things. It's going to expect to see palm trees in the foyer. It's going to be a state-of-the-art gym. There's going to be... Because at that price, you'd expect nothing less. £500 million on a prison. Unbelievable money. And there's no way. This is a mixture of stupidity, incompetency, and I'm pretty sure organised crime. And I'm pretty sure that the SNP are probably part of that organised crime. They're so skint. If they aren't bankrupt after doing things like this, no. They're getting something back. There's money going out of the public purse and into the SNP's coffers, methinks. Possibly, maybe. Or if not directly in, then into the hands of people within the SNP, maybe. Possibly, methinks. Allegedly. Cover me arse. But you understand what I'm saying. There's no way. There is no way. And anyway, I'm sure many of you people out there have worked in industry, in construction, that sort of thing, land development, whatever. You know that there's no way anything goes up that much in a short period of time without something really, really dodgy happening. But we shall wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has enlightened you. It's made your jaw drop, hasn't it? 400, well, £500 million by the time it's finished. No wonder they got a black hole with funds, isn't it? Anyway, till next time, stay safe, stay well, stay out of prison. Or if you are going to go to prison, can you at least wait about 10 years so you go to a nice one? Bye.